But now we are going to be exploring how influential leaders are driving women's empowerment in Saudi Arabia and beyond as the kingdom realizes its Vision 2030. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Her Royal Highness, Princess Lamia Bint Majed, Saud AlSaud, the Secretary General and member of the Board of Trustees at Alwaleed Philanthropies, His Excellency Ambassador Christophe Farnaud, the EU Ambassador to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the Kingdom of Bahrain, and the Sultanate of Oman. And of course, your moderator for this discussion, Ramia Farrage, senior presenter and producer at Forbes Middle East. Take it away, Ramia.
Thank you, Sally. Good morning, everyone. We are so excited to be back in the Riyadh for the second Forbes Women's Summit. I cannot think of a better place to celebrate women's progress and women's achievement, and I think you would all agree with me on that. And it is really a pleasure to be joined by a woman who I have had so many important conversations with. She is driving impact in the kingdom when it comes to women's empowerment. Her Royal Highness Princess Lamia, thank you so much for being with us today. And also we're fortunate to be joined by His Excellency Mr. Farnaud, the EU Ambassador, who is working to advance women's empowerment in the kingdom and beyond. I should also mention that Princess Lamia is the granddaughter of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. What a fantastic panel. I would like to start, Princess Lamia, by talking about your leadership. It really spans both philanthropy and media, and I have to say, you have mastered both philanthropy and media, and I would like to know how these intersect to really promote cultural advocacy and to empower women both locally here in the kingdom but also internationally.
Thank you very much, Ramia, and it's always a pleasure being with you in a panel. You've been missed. I have been a long time we didn't see each other.
It's been too long.
Yes. So first of all, thank you, ladies, for having me. It's such a pleasure to be among those amazing, successful, accomplished ladies. As you know, I have been working in the philanthropy sector for over a decade now. And lately, I was appointed to be the CEO of the Rotana Media Group.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I believe media and any sector is very much interconnected. In philanthropy in specific, if you want to change the world, if you want to deliver the message for all around the world, especially for Alwaleed Philanthropy, we work in over 180 countries around the world. So media is a very important aspect of the story. For you to have this amazing and I would say resilient ladies around the world that really look up for each other and how we can support each other from here, from Riyadh. So I'll give you an example locally and one internationally. In Alwaleed Philanthropy, one of the initiatives that I really cherish is the Wa'ya Legal Initiative. This initiative is working in empowering women and creating awareness about women's legal rights. We do women legal rights awareness, we do a lot of consultancy, we do represent women in courts, we train over 2,000 female lawyers to practice law. This initiative, without media, it would never reach the 20,000 beneficiaries till date. Without announcing it, without promoting it, without letting people understand what we're doing and how they're going to benefit, whether from a consultancy perspective, whether from training perspective, we would never reach the number that we want to reach. Moreover, globally, when we worked with the International Scouts Foundation, which is really carries and have over 450 million youth around the world, how to create awareness about pressing issues around the world nowadays, which is, unfortunately, it's becoming bigger and bigger every day. Without media, to deliver this message and to gather people around certain cause for them to adopt it and really work upon it and to deliver it till the 2030, whether it's the SDGs or the Saudi vision, it would be almost impossible to do so.
So you are having a huge impact and you are using media to spread the word. And this is incredibly important. Your Excellency, I'd like to bring you into the conversation. Gender inequalities, they do still exist in the EU. It has made enormous progress in the past few decades. But as an EU ambassador, what do you feel Saudi can learn from the EU's action plans and its policies on gender equality?
Well, first of all, thank you for the kind invitation. It's really great and exciting to be here with you today. I'm not so sure about the word learning, because when you look at this brilliant audience and on stage, I think the Kingdom does already a lot. So congratulations, ladies, and gentlemen, by the way. But as you mentioned, gender equality is a priority for the European Union. It's been so for years. And I think what it takes is a lot of commitment. And so we do it, and with some results, even if it's not perfect. And for instance, we've had now for years a gender action program, gender action plan. And currently it's in 3rd edition, for instance. So it's a very structured policy that we have. And for instance, in action abroad, it's been a strong commitment to make sure that 85% of the programs we have abroad have something to do with gender equality. Because gender equality is part of everything nearly. So that's what we try step by step to promote with partner countries, of course. And I think it's never perfect, but we're getting there slowly. And as a very talking and telling example, I should say that in a way, the European Union is already in the hands of ladies. Because when you look at the top level, the President of the European Commission is a lady, President von der Leyen. The head of the parliament, Roberta Metsola, is a lady as well. The head of the central bank, Christine Lagarde, is a lady. And the new head of the European diplomacy, Ms. Callas, is a lady. So where are the men, basically? So thank God everybody can play this role. But you know, this step by step, this action, I think, is very active. And I think it's important first to talk about it, as we do now, and this is why congratulations for having this event again. We never talk enough about it. I was just earlier at the Internet Governance Forum, where there was also a panel on this topic. But then we have to take action and to act consistently year after year. And from young age to adulthood, it makes a difference. So we're glad to be able to cooperate with the Kingdom on that. Thank you very much.
You were on a panel this morning in Riyadh speaking about women's empowerment, and now you're at the Forbes Women's Summit speaking about women empowerment. So your advice is to talk more about it and then implement change. A couple of years ago, Princess Lamia gave me this beautifully crafted, can you see it? It's a leather laptop case, which I still carry today. It's one of my favorite leather goods items. This is just one product of the Saudi Artisans Program. Please share with us your vision and impact of local initiatives like the Artisans Program and also the Mizwada Project in fostering entrepreneurship among Saudi women.
Well, of course, you know that this project in specific is very dear to my heart. I believe the Saudi ladies here will understand what I'm going to say. When I started working in the foundation and we started analyzing and understanding more why the initiative or the project of the artisan is not working, we found out it's about the perspective of people. We used to call them usar muntija, if you remember, and I refused this completely. Because they're not just people just selling goods just to live, they're creating art and they're preserving their culture, literally without them knowing. So we used to just train and let them go. Since we came, myself and my team, and it's of course a team effort, we decided no, we're gonna train upon project. So they I don't think they have this much knowledge about how they can move forward with those products and how we can create this model of actually perfecting the quality of the product. So we started to restructuring the full initiative. Nowadays, we have over 120, 130 artisans ladies. We create those beautiful goods. We satisfy actually hotels as room accessories. Now, every one of the ladies here, if you are going to the Four Seasons, all the renovation of the Four Seasons, all the room accessories, all the artworks are from the Saudi artisans of the foundation, not... Thank you. Thank you.
It really is beautiful and such lovely quality.
And by the way, it's 100% natural resources, Saudi natural resources. Not this only, Mizwida was the local brand. And after all of the success of Mizwida, now we created another international brand, which is House of Arabia. We're launching our line in Harrods, inshallah, 2025.
Fantastic.
And you'll see it there, bi'idhnillah.
We will be shopping in London for the
Yes,
Saudi goods.
inshallah.
Your Excellency, you must have had some personal experiences that really shaped your perspectives on advancing gender equality, particularly in your role as ambassador to Saudi, Oman, and Bahrain. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, of course, your personal experience plays a role. I could go back to when I was a child and later when it's important precisely that you're aware of this equality. And so I, as many people in this room, belong to a generation where that thing in a way is natural, but it's not always a fact. So you have to reconcile the objective and what you do. And so when you get to a position as a diplomat or as an ambassador, I think it's very important to promote it, yes, but also to perceive what's around you and what's happening. And I must say that a key point is to have teams where you have both men and women, for instance. So as an ambassador, you don't always choose your team, but you can still make sure that it happens. And since, against the backdrop I described, that's what's happening, I think it's very inspiring because you can see that your counterparts or people in your team do not always react the same, if they are men or women. And that's very positive, and I always was inspired by that, I must say. But now you're talking about the kingdom. I must say as well that being here allowed me to meet with incredible ladies, by the way, inspiring women, as the phrase goes. And so on stage, once again, it's always a great pleasure. But also, whether you talk about sports, you have incredible women in sports in Saudi Arabia, from, I don't know, boxing to rally races, which is quite unexpected when you think of the kingdom when you're abroad in business, but many ladies in this room have already spoken about that, in arts, in culture more broadly. And to me, it's very important to know them, of course, and to be able to do things together. And it's, for me, it is and will remain a priority to make sure that there's this dialogue, and based on it, to find occasions, events, when we can enhance it, and of course, promote it, because it's not just, again, what's happening right now. It's going to be happening in the coming years for the new generations. What the young boys and young girls see now will clearly lead them to behave differently in the future. And for diplomats, these relations are very important. We have this priority. What we build now is, of course, to bring fruit in the coming generations.
And partnerships and collaboration are also crucial, aren't they? Tell us a little bit about the key partnerships and the key collaborations that can really help amplify the voice and impact of women-focused initiatives on a global scale. Princess Lamia, you mentioned entering the UK market and selling Saudi goods in Harrods. Tell us a little bit more about these partnerships and potential partnerships of the future. If you could both.
So I'll keep it up with the artisans, which is, we have a very good example for this. When we started the initiative or the project of the artisans, we've been fortunate enough to collaborate with Prince of Wales Foundation. We worked with them before in Afghanistan, and we created an excellent center for artisans in Afghanistan, and also they already in the international market their goods. So we thought, why not? We invite them to Saudi Arabia, and back then we worked with the authority of Culture Authority led by Prince Sultan bin Salman. And we started working with them. We have been working with them now for over 14 years. You have a lot of women in Saudi Arabia that really master this craft, but you still have a long way to perfect quality and to understand more how to satisfy the international market. And this, what we did with Turquoise Mountain, which is, as I said, a part of the Prince of Wales Foundation. So we created with them this initiative in Afghanistan, in Myanmar, and in Palestine as well. All of them are linked to international market, and this is what we are doing with them now, that we're actually showcasing the beautiful Saudi culture in London, as you said. And this is how I think I would say the collaboration, how it will reflect very well from an international level to the local market.
Yes. Yeah. Your Excellency.
Well, if you allow me, I would start with a basic but fundamental type of cooperation, which is between men and women. Because women empowerment is not just about women, it's about men as well. If men do not cooperate and are not convinced of its importance, it's doomed for failure. Well, so far it's going well, but I think it has to be even stronger in a way. So that's a key point. When you talk about women's rights, you have to talk about men as well. And the second thing, maybe just now to enlarge it and talk more in a diplomatic way, I think that it's very important that whatever the program you choose, whatever the field, we realize that there is a gender dimension, gender equality dimension, and then push for it. And again, for the common good. It's not just a moral story. It's also a question of efficiency. And I will give you 3 quick examples based on what's happening right now. The first is environment. By definition, as was shown, by the way, at the very recent COP16 that took place here in Riyadh on the desertification and drought, the gender dimension is key, because what women do all over the world has an environmental dimension as well. And so it was raised during the conference. There were recommendations, there were ideas to promote it. And so by promoting women's rights, women empowerment, you contribute to this environmental key issues for all of us. And so I think this is an area where we have collectively to do more, and this is something where it is happening, and it's a very good thing. Second field, maybe the digital world. We all talk about the internet governance and digital gap. There is a gender digital gap. And for instance, I was surprised to read that according to UN estimates currently, 69% of men are internet users, and only 63% of women around the world, worldwide, are internet users. It doesn't sound too big, but it does make a difference. It's very significant. And it's even worse when you turn to the rate of women in the high-tech workforce, for instance. So again, there is something we have to address, and by addressing it, it will be the smart thing to do, because it's not just about rights, it's also about efficiency. And a lot of initiatives are happening right now, and I think it's going to the right direction. And maybe a last theme I want to mention, sports. I mentioned it earlier because I think it's very positive and very, very telling, again, especially for the young generation. There's more and more now women in sports. I read that tens of thousands of young Saudi girls are now practicing football, which is something which is totally amazing and that many people around the world would not even think about. It's a very good sign, and I think we have to push for that. And all these are fields that way on which we can work together between the Europeans, for instance, and the Saudis. There's a lot to share on that because it's a common objective.
It is a common objective, and I think you're both doing a wonderful job at finding solutions to the challenges we are facing in this region when it comes to women empowerment. I want to congratulate you both on the great work you're doing, both in Saudi and internationally, and thank you so much for joining me today.